Hello, my name is Keith Duncan, and I am the visual artist for Nord Commission program. I teach at various recreational centers throughout the city. I'm at Millen Recreational Center. I am at Gurnon and Brown, St. Bernard, and the Treme Recreational Center. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about the terminologies that we use in art. There are 7 elements of art, which is the basic building blocks of art. So the first elements of art is line, and line is the path of a moving point. Lines define the edges and shape and form. Shape is an area enclosed by line. It is a two-dimensional and can be geometric or organic. Form is 3-dimensional. They occupy space, but also creates or gives the illusion of space. Color is the most expressive element we have when it comes to the arts. And it can be bright, dull, dark, or light on a surface. Value refers to lightness and darkness of a painting or a drawing. Value is also important when it comes to the study of color. Texture is the actual surface, feel, or the simulated look of roughness or smoothness in a work of art. Space is the illusion of objects having depth on 2-dimensional surface. Linear and aerial perspectives are used. So these are your basic building blocks when it comes to looking at a work of art. And without these elements, you will not have the principles of art. Now, the principles of art really describes what you're looking at. So if you're looking at a painting or a drawing in a museum or on the street, wherever you see art, because you would say, okay, why did this person do this? Why did this person paint this work with all in blue or in yellow or in red? Or why is it like off balance and all? Well, that comes with the principles of art. So I'm going to take you through the 7 principles. The first one is balance. Balance is the distribution of visual weight. It is the comfortable arrangement of things in art. Symmetrical balance is the same. Symmetrical balance could be like our face. We have 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears. That is something that is symmetrical. Asymmetrical is something that is totally opposite of that. Contrast, the arrangement of opposite elements in art. For example, light versus dark, rough versus smooth, large versus small, etc. in a given composition of an artwork. Emphasis, used to make certain parts of an artwork stand out. It creates the center of interest or focal point in our work of art. Movement, how the viewer's eye moves through the composition. This is important. Leading our attention from one aspect of the work to another. And also movement can create the illusion of action. Something that is very, moving very fast. Pattern, the repetition of a specific visual element such as planned units of shape or form. A method used to organize surface in a consistent manner. Rhythm, regular repetition of or alternation of elements to create cohesiveness, which is like wholeness, and interest. Unity, visual pleasing agreement among the elements in a design. Means that all in the work of art is in harmony and variety adds interest. So I have some examples of work. For example, this is a work done by an impressionist painter. And looking at this piece of work, I would say that it creates it has a sense of space in this piece, but it also has movement. Because the women who are walking on the beach, you can see that their hair is floating. It's the illusion of the wind hitting them that creates this movement that's going on in this piece. This Paul Gauguin painting, really what stands out in this piece is the color. And color, like it says, it has very expressive elements in it. And in this particular piece, I think there is a unity happening here because of the color. And going back to this word balance, there is a sense of balance that is happening in this painting. This is one of my favorite paintings by Van Gogh. And this painting, when you first look at it, the first thing you should think about is movement. Because throughout the painting, because one thing about Van Gogh, when he painted real thick with paintings in his artwork. That was his style. That he always painted very thick and you could see the surface, the texture that he would create in his paintings. But the one major thing, if you've taken art history or art lessons, when you look at a Van Gogh painting, you're automatically thinking about movement. This guy Trudeau painting here, just because of the color arrangements, I think of rhythm, and I also think of pattern. He created a pattern. These are just simply pieces of cake on a plate that he created. But the pattern and the rhythm, because of the repetition, is what comes out when you think about pattern, rhythm. All right? And then this Malevich, this is an abstract painting, and you would say, okay, what does this painting emphasizes? Well, I think it has a lot to do with balance. When we talk about asymmetrical balance, this is this large black form or shape that he has, and these blue shapes that are going vertical as opposed to horizontal, they're creating a balance that's happening in this piece. Gustav Klimt, this is a famous painting called The Kiss. And I think it has a lot to do with the texture that makes you really pay attention to this piece. But there's the two figures that's kissing up here. And I think the word that really describes this piece would be emphasis. Because there is a focal point in this painting that brings you to the two figures that's kissing. And we all know this probably the most famous painting in the world, the Mona Lisa by Da Vinci. I'm sorry. Da Vinci's Mona Lisa would probably go under emphasis and contrast because of her dark, presence in the piece. It really brings you out. It makes you think about the contrast as opposed to the subtle, landscape in the back. And everyone has always been drawn to Mona Lisa's smile, as well as the eyes. The eyes are looking at the viewer, is looking at us. So this has everything to do with emphasis, okay? So the principles of art, again, describes the fundamental ideas about the practice of visual art and design. And one of my professors at Hunter College, when I always taught me that art is one of many disciplines. We have doctors and lawyers, we have scientists, we have people who do all kinds of disciplines. As for the martial arts, you have actors, you have even in the sports arena, that's a discipline. So she always made me understand that in the visual arts, there is also a discipline and what you create and make. So I want to also really point out that each of these pieces and paintings that you saw has a subject matter. And the subject matter is simply the object or a thing that you are creating. For example, if you are drawing a portrait of somebody, that's a subject matter. If you're doing a still life, for example, this is a still life, a painting of some flowers. That's a subject matter. And then you can also have, just like the Van Gogh painting, this is a landscape. That is another subject matter. So whatever your subject is, that is important for what you want to paint, And so there's also content and context in art. I want to really point that out. The context in art is the setting or the place, okay, of an event, statement, or an idea. That's the context. So, and then the content is the significance or the meaning of something, or what it is about, or whatever the topic may be. So, I paint. Sometimes some people paint for beauty. They might just want to paint something like a vase for, flowers in a vase. And that could be totally about beauty and love. It could be a gift to someone that you know. That's a reason why some people may paint. As opposed to like someone like Frida Kahlo, she paints to make a statement. And that's what I do too. A lot of my paintings, and I will in the future, I will show some examples of some of my paintings. But I always feel that my paintings, I want to make a statement. I want to have people think about what I'm trying to, bring across. So there's a lot of reasons why we paint,